What did you find so good about the school so far with your association with it?
When we were looking for schools, two things we were very clear about what we want from the schools. So one, now we see a lot more participation in extracurricular activities.
Hi, welcome to Illuslate, your very own school search engine that helps you find the best schools for your kid based on various filters and parameters. Today, we have Mr. Ramesh, whose kids are studying in the Suchitra Academy, which is in Kutbulapur, near Suchitra Junction. Let's speak to him and understand what he thinks about the school and also take his honest opinion about it. So, to begin with, what are those positives that you think all the other parents of the academy should know about the school? What did you find so good about the school so far with your association with it?
So my daughter, we joined her in Suchitra Academy in grade 1. Okay. Now she has completed grade 10 this year. And we'll be continuing in grade 11 also. So when we were looking for schools, two things we were very clear about what we want from the school. So our priorities were quite clear. So one, we wanted a place where they actually feel like school, okay, rather than going into a building, right? So we didn't want to just have the buildings, classrooms there. We actually want that proper atmosphere, and especially we wanted a lot of greenery and open spaces within the premises. So that was one of our priority. We didn't want a place where they're just cramped up in the classrooms and they just have little space for playing or any other extracurricular activities. So a good pleasing atmosphere, nice greener open spaces was the first priority for us, frankly. Academics was not top on the priority. Of course, we do want to have good academics, but it has to be there. Okay, so the second thing was the security. Okay, because we have a daughter, we want a place which is safe for children. Okay, both within the premises as well as when they're transported to and from the home. So we had taken transport facility. So the school has provided, along with the driver, there's one female ayah used to come in all the buses. Okay, so all the buses will have one female attendant. So that gave us a sense of safety and security that, okay, girls are safe at school as well as during the transport till they reach home. So frankly, these were the two topmost priorities for us when we look for the schools around this location. And till now, we didn't have to regret so far, okay, based on these two priorities that we had. Then academic obviously was good, so we never had a reason to complain.
Got it. And sir, over these 10 years, how did the school evolve? What do you think is the school situation now? After 10 years, where do you think the school got better and where do you think the school could get better from here on?
So when we joined our daughter, she was, I think, 4th batch, if I remember right. I think there were 3 batches before we joined. That's when the school was established. So definitely the strength has grown many folds. It has not become crowded though, but we see more kids. Okay, that is one. In terms of academics, definitely I think they're trying to do better. But one problem I have noticed is the attrition of teachers. Okay, so a lot of teachers don't stay for a very long period. Some teachers do stay. That is one thing probably they can do better. Okay, so that is one change over time. Second, I think they have added more and more extracurricular activities over this period. Initially, I think there were probably 3-4 activities when we started out about 10 years back. Now we see a lot more participation in extracurricular activities, including both sports as well as other extracurricular. Like now they encourage students to participate in MUNs, Model United Nations. They take kids for sports competitions outside the school, like inter-school competitions, inter-district competitions. So those things have definitely increased over this period. So coming back to that first point that the strength has increased, no? So sometimes the communication, there is some lag between what we expect them to communicate in time and there are some issues with time-to-time communication. Maybe because of having to handle too many kids and parents. So those are the major changes.
Got it. And you got up this topic of co-curricular activities, sir. So, speaking about co-curricular activities in specific, how do you think the school is trying to manage both academics and co-curricular activities? Do you see a good balance between both?
I think so, because so what they do for co-curricular activities is some activities are mandatory, right? Which are part of their routine. Say weekly schedule, they have some hours which are dedicated for co-curricular activities, which every child has to participate. So that way, every child will have something to look at. Okay, so that they're not just concentrating on the studies alone. The second thing is those who are really keen to go out and say spend longer time in co-curricular, they have options. Right, they have started this thing called after school activities, where once the school routine is over, say at around 2:30, 3 o'clock, children who want to take part or continue with the sports, so they have option of I think around 7 or 8 after school activities for about an hour every day, or four days in a week, I think. So that way, somebody who is interested in sports, at least they have that opportunity to continue. And all children will have some things which are mandatory, including some activities they make. I think all children part in annual day activities,
Got it.
and some things are ongoing throughout the year. So that
Got
way, I think there is some balance. It is not mandatory that every child has to do everything. But
Got it.
yeah,
Also, since your kid is now in 10th standard and she has to take some critical calls on which subject to choose moving on. So, did school give any sort of advice or support or kind of counseling and help your kid in choosing the right subjects from here on? What do you think of that aspect?
so yeah, they did provide us a list of options to choose from with the different combinations. Like I think for 5 subjects in grade 11, so some optional subjects, some mandatory subjects, languages options, and fifth subject options like psychology or computers, robotics. So they did give us options to choose from. And but actually, even before we had discussion with them, we had made our mind what all things we wanted. But they were willing to help if you had any confusion about which subjects to choose from. They had the sessions to discuss with the counselor.
Got it. And speaking about the fee structure, sir, what is the current fee structure that you're paying for your kid? And also, did you see any major increase in fee structures over a period of time because you've been there associated with the school for 10 years? What was your experience with fee structure in specific?
So I think currently for grade 11, we are going to pay something around 2 point, I think tuition fee is around close to 1.8 lakhs. This doesn't include the transport fee and the food charges, because they provide one snack and lunch also within the school. So that is charged separately. So only tuition fees comes around 1.8 lakh per grade 11. So I think there are slightly different pay structure for those who are joining midway. Like somebody joining in 11th now from another school, they may have little higher charge compared to those who are continuing for a long time. So that is there. It is difficult to comment because I see schools with similar facilities, similar campuses charging much more. Okay, that way I think for the amount of open spaces they have, the food or other facilities that they have, I think it is reasonable.
Got it. And you spoke about the teacher attrition, which the school can definitely improve upon. Is there any other area where you think school really need to put some focus on and get better?
Communication is other thing. Sometimes we get some communication about certain activities in the class quite late in the day. So sometimes it becomes difficult for working professional to reschedule their routine to accommodate those things. So that those are the 2 areas I think they need to work on.
Got it. And before we wind up, sir, on scale of 10 with 10 being the highest, how likely are you to recommend Suchitra Academy School to any of your kith and kin or peers?
Okay, see, the scale is too one-dimensional.
Okay.
Because each parent will have their set of priorities. I think if at all any parent is looking for things like good, proper school atmosphere for their child to have stress-free learning, and if you are looking for a lot of co-curricular activities along with the decent level of academics, I think this is a very good option. So give at least 8.
very much, sir. A lot of opinions that you shared will be of great help for other parents who are looking for good schools in the same locality. And on behalf of all those parents, thanks once again for your time.
Thank you, Chantal.
Pleasure talking to you, sir. Thank you.